Welcome. Oh, let me take this. There we go. My Bluetooth was on. You wasn't going to be able to hear me. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Goddess High Priestess Empress Ambala Pantera. Any loyalty that caused the essence of your true self is treason to self. Reason that that's coming through as a message for the collective. I've been noticing the vast amount of monarch butterflies. And the message is transformation is in your reality in matters of universal law, as within, so without, as above, so below. And when I tell you the amount of monarch butterflies I've been seeing in just a short amount of time, so a short amount of time, something is obviously there now. It's not far away. So if you're going through some sort of transformation right now, the result of that is not far away. In fact, it's already there, so much so all it takes is for you to be locked in. Don't just tap in, lock in into the frequency of an upgraded version of yourself, which also includes where you have to say no in situations that you find yourself having to say no, no longer apologizing for that. Okay? Because that's where you'll see the blossoming of that transformation. All right, so let's see what planetary hour we in right now. I felt as though it was already, it's still in, yeah, we're Jupiter right now. Jupiter hour, 1759, 1759. So there's that. Much, much love, Arkansas. What up? In the galactic signature of the day, there's a red planetary serpent guided by the power of space. Okay. Alignments are very significant right now, which can even create an intensity of emotion. Find your stability within the intensity. Some of you have a throat chakra clearing that's happening because of that expression of saying no in situations that you would normally say yes to, or you don't stick to your no. You go back and say, well, because you place the focus on someone's reaction to your response. Say that again. You focused on someone's reaction to your response. This is when you go against, your own boundaries, your truth that is absolute. It doesn't change. It is what it is type of thing when it comes to a truth. It is what it is. I'm not going to say that it doesn't change, because the truth can evolve, but it still has a foundation of truth. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what's coming through here for the collective. Let me look at the chart real quick. Destiny. Wow. Take matters into your hands. Moving on is the doorway or the key. Man holding a heart is showing up here. For some of you, this is a situation where you already understand that someone doesn't embody a certain level of emotional intelligence. with this man holding a heart showing up in reverse as we're shuffling through the deck. And this is a 9:45. So it's the end to that level of cycle. There could have been a tower moment, 10 and 16, that literally influences the next move, even if it's uncomfortable. The thinking man. So this would be a situation of you recognizing also, you know, or this message can help you in realizing where you are not able to trust your intuition before it makes sense. When you trust your intuition before it makes sense, it's something as simple as you already have the idea. The subtle information comes in intuitively, but the way that you would have to express it may literally be something that you find yourself having to over explain or make it sound as though it's perfectly stated. But the way it has come through, your intuitive response or your intuitive communication is the best way to communicate it. So basically, you know, stepping away from fabricating what it is that is coming through subtly. Because it may be something, a message that is of 3 words, but someone may want to make it a paragraph. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, this could even be something in regards to what you know and no longer believe in, because it's the knowing that carries or aligns with the truth of a solid foundation. Because here's the thing about what something is. What something is reflects or is based off of the foundation is built on. So if the foundation is shaky, that which is built upon it's going to also be shaky. See what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where one is standing on business. Greetings. Greetings, loves. This keeps showing up. This showed up in a quick message I just made right before this. Trapped in fear. Foundation. Fear blocks the root chakra. Fear is what causes one to not feel rooted, secure, and grounded. Okay. Patience and planning. Look at this. The ruler of the root chakra, Saturn. This is a Saturn and Taurus card, which are lessons that have to do with you valuing yourself in order for you to see the value of self. You valuing yourself in order to see the value of yourself. Time's ticking. The gap is closing. Time's ticking. The gap is closing is what I'm hearing right now. Movement, choices, and decisions. It's based off your movement, choices, and decisions whether a gap widens or closes. So something is not as far as you perceive it to be. Something could be as far as you perceive it to be. It's both. It's both. Look at this. Foundations and achievements. Wow. Victory and success. Okay. 6 of Wands with the 4 of Wands. 6 of Wands, Jupiter and Leo. 4 of Wands, Venus and Aries. How the way you see yourself is not to be understood by anyone else but you. And once you align with that notion, it will help you to step into your victory and success that you've been patiently planning on. For some of you, this is also what you're seeing. What you're seeing. 11:11. What you're seeing is the 11:11. It's letting you know of the different structures that are being built based on the foundation, based on where you are at when it comes to you and the way you sense security and grounding within yourself. Transformation. And speaking about the butterflies. These are the 2 outer planets When it comes to something that is outside of you, this has to do with something you've been patiently planning on. And it's coming to a point of victory and success. So something could be getting a little bit more intense. Find your stability within the intensity. Scorpio energy, transformation, Pluto. Mars is in Scorpio right now. So it's helping you even more with Mercury and Scorpio to process your thoughts in a way that it literally severs anything that's not going to allow you to step into the evolved version of yourself from the subconscious level. Okay, so this is both. This means cutting things away, cutting things out subconsciously that has nothing to do with your soul's journey, especially those things that were poured into you or programs that you have grown up to, you know what I'm saying, take on because of what you saw in your environment. Once again, what you see now in your environment reflects the transformation that you are experiencing internally. Take heed, move wisely. To move wisely is to be patient with all the moves that you're taking, but that does not mean be stagnant. Make sure everything you do moving forward has to do with the reflection of the unconditional love you have for yourself. Ask yourself, are the things that you're doing right now reflect the love that you have for yourself or the perceived love that you are wanting to show others to get them to love you in a certain way, when that's wasted energy, when all you have to do truly is to love yourself deeply so that way you can attract okay, the word negative was just about to come out. Why is this? Okay. Where you are at emotionally for some of you, what's in your environment what's being shown to you in your environment has to do with where you used to be. Seeing it face to face, basically. Being in the presence of what's showing up in your physical reality so you can finally do something about it and stop dealing with it. Placing you in a position to handle it. Justice, Libra season. 2 for 1. Hidden theme. What's the hidden theme? Look at this, the universe. What's behind this? King of Pentacles, man holding a coin. So, okay. Which is Taurus, which has to do with personal value, your value, the way you value yourself. But also, okay. So in the midst of all of these changes, financially, all is well. Emotionally, and speaking of the root chakra, financially, all is well. Obviously, it can get even better. Emotionally is where the transformation is happening. Okay, let me look more into this. Here's the thing. You got rainbows showing up here twice. Venus and Aries. Part of this has to do with, no longer apologizing for when you say no. This could be something you may have had a habit of doing, or there's a clearing of the residue from doing that previously. $13. Yeah. See? Continue to be patient. Patience is not waiting. Patience is what you do as you wait. Patience, it would be you taking inspired action to continue towards the path of your victory and success. Celebrating yourself, 1414, celebrating yourself. That could be a situation as well. Each time you have a breakthrough, you are now allowing yourself to tell people no so you can extend that level of celebration, as before where you may have had a breakthrough and it was short-lived because you may be the strong person amongst those that you love near and dear to your heart, but they don't, the same way you have the capability of having your moments, going through your breakthroughs, going through your rock bottoms, you still have the capability of celebrating someone and knowing when, having that emotional intelligence to know when to say certain things. But some of you had to get to a point where you had to tell certain people no who were overstepping that boundary. I was just telling someone this the other day as well, in terms of, you know, having boundaries and not allowing, let's say, not random, but a stranger or someone who is acquaintance, things of that nature, to overstep that boundary. But when it comes to people that are near and dear to your heart, you give them too many chances when a boundary should be non-negotiable. Doesn't matter who it is. You know what I mean? Oh, I didn't realize you was up in here this whole time. So y'all miss these people and they misinterpretations and they the blasphemy. Yeah, look at that. Those energies that were just removed had no connection to the right side of their brain, has no connection to the essence of the divine feminine, has no connection to the mother of Christ, if we're looking at it from a literal sense. You know what I'm saying? So just don't allow anyone to disrespect the way you move. And if anything or anyone is disrespecting the way you move, that know that you give them, that boundary, that line that you draw, should be non-negotiable. You feel me? The way that bell over there ringing. So yeah, let's look into this some more, loves. Let's look. Okay. What we have here? Yeah, the main thing. Yeah, look at this: obstacles and challenges. 5 of Wands, Saturn and Leo. So 2 Saturn messages, both fixed signs. So let's say if there was something you felt as though you would never change, that's part of this major part of the transformation. And this is what leads you into your victory and success. Beautiful home I'm seeing. Someone could be into real estate. Something regarding real estate is very strong. Investing, selling, interior designs, stepping away from real estate, designing is coming through very strongly, because it's something it fulfills you. So designing the life that fulfills you. You are designing the life that fulfills you. So as you're putting the threads together, you're bringing forth the transformation. Part of that transformation means that you are removing the old mask that you used to wear to make others comfortable around you. And you're moving with your heart. And it's allowing you to soar. You know what I'm saying? Big ego energy. Big ego energy. I want to see what the star energy is talking about. What's this? Weight of the world. Boundaries. See that? Confirmation, babe. Let it go. It's not yours to carry. It's not. You got Aries, Leo here very strongly. Taurus, Scorpio. In all the water signs. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Cardinal fixed. Mutable. Float. It's time for you to float. Okay. Whatever it is that you enjoy doing is what's going to bring you wealth. Your wealth comes through what it is that you enjoy. So it's time to step out. Literally, it was just 10-10. It's time for you all to step out of this programming that you got to work hard to have a solid foundation and achievements to have victory and success. Because these two together is a 10 of Wands. Doing things the hard way. Releasing doing things the hard way. Because you notice that all this bringing is nothing but challenges and obstacles. Yes, they make you stronger, but at some point, This shit don't got to be the foundation of your life the whole way. Some of you in here are content creators. Post more. TikTok is going to be good for you. YouTube is going to be great for you. Shout out to YouTube. You're remembering. Yeah, this content, whoever, okay, if you are in content creator, that is your fated life. You may be going through your fated life and your destiny life as a content creator. They're one and the same. In this instance, the fact that this card, 4, foundation, this card came out after saying that is part of your soul's plan. You're remembering your soul's plan. Let me see. You're remembering your soul's plan that also has to do with, you know, who you are being through becoming when you were carrying the weight of the world. Your remembrance kicks in even stronger when you set those non-negotiable boundaries. Yeah, star ancestors, hidden secrets. The hidden theme has to do with lost wisdom that is no longer lost. You're most welcome. The smiley. Look a little deeper. Let's go. Let's do it then. Let's look. Yeah, shout out to the ancient ones. You're not an old soul. You're an ancient soul. There's a difference. Hi, love. Yeah, this is the reason for your karmic relationships or relationships of lessons. Saturn and Leo. Your soul's plan, your fated and destiny life, your fated life and destiny life has to do with you being and embodying the energy of the sun, being in the center of it. Notice how many situations you've been in that there was all this competition going on around you. A true creator doesn't have to compete. A true creator doesn't have to see who's doing better than them. You know what I'm saying? Readings are never free. You're not for everyone. Look at that. Another more karmic lessons, because that's Saturn showing up again twice. Saturn in Taurus, Saturn in Leo. Yeah, for some of you, you've been in relationships where your partner has compared themselves to you. That's not your end all be all. And some of you are in situations feeling as though it's the end all be all and they're just competitive with you. It's unhealthy. It's competition. If you want to compete, go do a sport. That's what sports is for. Okay? You know what I'm saying? So you're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness, which means supernatural. When you look at the true definition of weird, it has to do with being supernatural, and face your true north in order to do so. That's the beauty of knowing your natal chart, your cosmic alignment, because what you were taught in terms of what's going to bring you victory and success, have a strong, solid foundation, and having certain level of achievements, so on and so forth. You realize from your chart that whatever they were telling you that would bring forth this level of success was actually going to allow you to live a life of abundance when your abundance is not the same as the next one. So everyone shouldn't be taught the same exact thing, because the true definition of education, or to educate, it comes from the Latin word educare, which means to bring out. A lot of these systems have been pouring in, which is why there's so many within the religion, which has to do with separating. That's third dimensional work. Religions is third dimensional work. Even in biblical texts, it tells you. Christ himself tells you. Christ, as in a literal sense, literally tells you, ye will do better works than I. So many verses within there tells you, you know what I'm saying, that you have to, not that you have to, you are God's. You know what I'm saying? So so many verses. So many verses. You know what I'm saying? People's pastors know this, but because of whatever code they under, they can't tell the congregation that. But you walk all up and through that Vatican, you gonna see the truth. You gonna see the truth. But that's only information that they have within the Bible itself. That's only 2,000. If we're gonna look at it from a literal sense, that's only 2,000 years old. You mean to tell me there wasn't nothing before that, and this planet itself is much more wiser than that? Because I'm not gonna say older. It's ancient. So y'all just gonna take the information from. Listen, y'all gonna stop disrespecting y'all boy Jesus. He said y'all better stop disrespecting me, because y'all still didn't get the memo. This is why many can't even sit at that table at the Last Supper. They won't make it. When the whole table is the 12 signs of the zodiac, or the 12 disciplines of your mind, or the 12 disciplines. Hello? And of course, people want to make it so logical, they don't even get the perspective that the first one that knew that Jesus was risen, has risen again, it was a female. The 13th out of the 12, from the 12. Okay, so I'm going to send you exactly where you can find that point. So look at this here. We got allow your intuition. It says action. Follow your intuition before it makes sense. There it goes. Right there. Baby steps. Now the baby has the strongest connection to all that is. This is when you know things are being spoken in a way that that those that have been in the abyss and have no way out because they don't understand or overstand their mission, they gonna pop up through here once. Whatever, ain't about that right now. Let's see, what else comes through here? Longing for home, homesick for the stars. Yeah, don't allow yourself to get into relationships because you are disconnected from yourself. A lot of times people get into relationships because they want to experience love from another that first and foremost one has to give or embody within themselves first. So much so you'll recognize how effortless the energy is reciprocated when you don't have to go out and look for it. You know? What's this that stayed on the table? What's on the table here for you? A new perspective. Zoom out. Common ground. None of this matters. Okay? Ooh, solid message right there. You got Mars asking you to zoom out. Mars energy having to do with some sort of conflict that for you to come to a common ground with the situation, zoom out so you can see it fully. And beautifully enough, Mars is in Scorpio. Zoom out so you can see it from a bird's eye view, from a soaring view. And an animal or bird that represents Scorpio is the eagle, which flies above the storm. Okay? So zoom out so you can see the common ground. The common ground in this situation would be you being able to see as to why that situation that no longer serves you, and at one point you have felt as though it did serve you, so much so that you invited it even on a much deeper level into your psyche, your presence, your soul. You're going to realize that this was something that you were wanting to fill a void and that you didn't even have to fill. You could have let that space be open and free so you can breathe. But that only happens when one is unable to allow that space to just be open and breathe, when you feel as though you have to fill things up. It's very similar to the way people were programmed to feel as though, oh, you have to eat in order to survive. When your perception is that, you can starve. You make yourself susceptible to starving. This is why you do have some people who are breatharians who can literally just live off of carbon and oxygen. That process in itself. Because their perception of what that means to them is not something that's going to take them out of here. One hears it day in and day out. Sleep, days in and days out. Throughout these mass ceremonies in churches, not coming at y'all for those of you who go to church, because some of y'all got a pastor that tell y'all what, tell y'all the real deal. But when they telling you that you gotta move a certain way to go to heaven, they already programmed within you programmed so deeply within you the separation of the heaven that you are within yourself, that you are to bring onto this planet. You are to commune with the planet itself as heaven. Oh, I know. I know. I already know. Trust me, I already know. So, let's look deeper into this. Zoom out, because none of this is no longer for you to carry. Let's see what this is talking about. Heavy set. Weight of the world. Just because you're strong doesn't mean you have to carry it. Just because you're strong doesn't mean you have to carry it. This could be someone that you're in a romantic situation with, wanting to get them to grow. It's a bad habit, though. Could be a Virgo. Habits have to do with Virgos. Love affair, love, Venus, Libra, Virgo. Some of you, there's a situation you disconnected from that you dodged a bullet. Blocking negativity, escaping crazy people, protected by haters. Protected by haters. That's crazy word. That's on some rejection is protection type of vibes. It's something here regarding the 8th house. Scorpio. Now I'm about to be on your shit. Hold on. Unbothered boss daddy. Kissing ass. I'm crying. You know what? Hold on. Someone could be financially stable, but emotionally all over the place, honestly. They indulge in certain habits that you know. 11th house. It's giving shroom trips. Why am I hearing 2 Chains? I love it, another problem. And yeah, like a lot of problems. 11th house has to do with social groups, social networks, people, big groups of people. Something is not for the long term. We got Sagittarius, 11th house. Let me see. Scorpio rising. Neptune. There's some sort of fog here for someone who is a Scorpio rising, or something in regards to your environment at this time that is sexually intense, but something is not clear. Be very mindful of that. Be very careful with whomever this is. That was a turn of events. Scorpio or Aquarius. Either there's something in regards to a group, someone's hiding something, or an Aquarius is hiding something. My eyes just got so watery just now. Wait, I mean... What should I be talking about? Gratitude for the views, though. Okay. Scorpio significant, though, because that's here. Okay. Something about Scorpio energy. Scorpio season? Alright, you gonna keep saying the same shit? You ain't got nothing else to say? The spiritual psychosis, religious psychosis is real today, yeah? It's not funny. 555. Okay, Metatron. I don't have beliefs. I have knowings. Beliefs is where you continue to be lying to your own self, your own heart. Jesus is a Virgo. Literally. Literally. First house. I just had to say that. Anyway. The energy around you could be hesitant. What is this, though? Mutable. Something keeps changing. It keeps changing because something is hidden. There's something hidden as to why something keeps changing. This ain't that type of lie. Wait for a story time, but you won't be able to because you're getting blocked. Y'all be asking the wrong questions. Speaking in y'all dimension language, y'all third dimensional language, where y'all live by right or wrong. Y'all don't carry the universal energy, so you can't, you should not be talking to me. No, I know these cards. See, another dummy. Who else wanted? Now I'm hearing future. I'm so groovy. Scorpio. I'm so groovy. That's this energy over here. Okay. See, as a multi-dimensional transmuter, I'm going through all the dimensions. Let's look at it. Ooh. What's hidden is that there's a happiness hater. I'm telling you, we spoke about this already. There could be an offer to go out, you know, for coffee, to chat, but it's just to vent. You people need to ask permission for ventilation sessions. 6th house, big Virgo energy. Virgo, 6th house. Somebody, this is someone's duty in life to. It's just something got to get cleaned up here. Something has to get cleaned up. Someone has to get cleaned up. Venus, yeah, clean it up, make it beautiful. The moon, something has to get cleaned up. Something is hidden that has to get cleaned up. Show me what this is. Did I bring that other? No, I didn't. Wait, I haven't used this in a minute. And it's calling through right now. Let's go to the Starman. Something is hidden that got to get cleaned up. Venus and the moon. Talking to my... Something has to get cleaned up here. This is serious stuff. The moon is in Capricorn at that. The moon is in Capricorn. Before someone's money could come in, this got to get cleaned up. What's this? The 7 of Pentacles. This is the second time it showed up, so we're going to have to look a little deeper into this. It's given the energy of relapse, that when something doesn't go as planned, someone goes into an old habit. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. 7 of Swords. The card of deception. Moon in Aquarius. Stop going back towards people who do not see you for all that you are. Okay? This is also about not allowing loyalty to certain people to disrespect your true essence, because that is literally treason to yourself. No more of that. 777 showing up here. You've been through this lesson over and over. A habit over and over. Negative one. This could have to do with the love affair, for sure. It certainly have to do with the love affair and offer. But this person is a reflection of the version of yourself where you don't have unconditional love for yourself. They reflect the same level of hate that you have for yourself, to not have the audacity to go towards what it is that you desire to do. Fuck wanting or needing. What you desire to do. That's different than a want and need. A want and need is not coming from the sacral. A desire is. You literally had the sacral that showed up here in your in the energy as well. Not too long ago. Didn't that? Yeah, that sure did show up. Got hot. Here we go. It did show up. Where is it hiding? Is it? Look at this. All that looking for the sacral chakra. And speaking of doors, keys, you have the door to personal healing and happiness. It's not going to come from this offer of something external to you, though. It has to happen within you. If you want anything outside of you to reflect what you have going on in your imagination about unconditional love, experiencing joy, experiencing bliss, victory, you're going to have to sit in that energy within yourself long enough to not desire it from someone else. Desire that love within yourself. Ace of Cups. Open up that portal within yourself so you don't have to desire it outside of yourself. Because the moment you unlock that energy, 134, which 143 is also that energy of I love you. Then we have balance here. Justice card. It's time for you to emotional withdraw from something. So I'm telling you, you're literally at the gate here. You're literally at the gate of seeing things from a much higher perspective. There you go, Mariah. There you go, honey. 2011, August 30th, 2011 is significant. Jupiter in Aries. Expansion comes when you connect to who you truly are. The I am. Aries says I am. And the name of God is I am. That dwells within you. You can also see the way these religions actually pull you away from divine connections too. With the Emperor showing up here. And the root chakra. Saturn, Mars, Pluto energy. 14. You're going to have to temper yourself. Become the alchemist of your situations. The basic language of an alchemist is what's in it for me and not why me. Okay. See what else here. I'm clearing this right after this. I'm clear. And Aries is showing up right here. Big Aries energy showing up many a times. It's time for you to step into your authority. Nine of Wands. Here, see. This is a warning, especially with this happiness hater and offer. Some of you are literally manifesting something into your life that you actually do not desire, which is going to place you in this lesson all over again that you've already mastered. You've already mastered this. You've already mastered this, my deck. You don't have to sit there in this anymore. Stop doing that. Stop doing that, all right? You ain't, yeah. Make sure you're connecting, communicating with and on purpose. Taurus, Scorpio. Aldebaran showing up, which is within the constellation of Scorpio. Gemini degrees, Gemini 8 to 9 degrees. This speaks to having a clear mind so you can be able to write out your thoughts on paper, which is also something, it could also be similar to automatic writing in the sense that these thoughts that come through from the subtleness of your intuition, when you're not attempting to be perfect about what it is, the information that is coming in, you just write it out. That's automatic information. Okay, so there's this silver gate that is being opened here. The silver gate is where souls descend to earth. Some of you may want to incorporate more silver It can protect you from energies pulling you away from your own energy. Deeper wisdoms and higher truth, especially as you're evolving, the higher you ascend, the stronger the opposition is going to be. Gratitude. (529 to 531), May 29th to May 31st. If your birthday is between May 29th and May 31st, you are a royal star, Aldebaran. That's connected to Archangel Michael. So severing yourself from situations that no longer serves you shouldn't be hard to do. It should not be that much of a challenge. It only becomes a challenge when you're too into the situation, which means you're still in the experience and you're not observing it. And if you went out Aldebaran Royal Star, you are my reflection, literally, as a Sagittarius Royal Star Antares, connected to Archangel Uriel, the one that was sent into the abyss, the one that chaos surrenders to. So stop playing. Get whatever these conflicting situations is out of your way by disconnecting yourself. That's severing. Disconnecting yourself fully, mentally, spiritually, physically, soulfully, whatever. The way I see it, the dragon that Michael takes on is the ones that's dragging themselves, not recognizing who they are. You know what I'm saying? There's something of the past that one is absent when it comes to patience, because it's patience in reverse. Okay, so let's see here. We got Cancer, Capricorn showing up. Patience in reverse. If you zoom out, something appears to you much smaller than it is. You're too close to it, so it's doing too much. It's an illusion, though. Ace of Pentacles, yeah. Ace of Pentacles in reverse at that. This is not something that is considered an opportunity. Rushing a situation is going to bring you towards experiences that are not opportunities, which is now where you're walking into situations that will have you feeling unemotionally stable, ungrounded, you know, having others have authority over you, constantly feeling conflicted and defeated, unable to really tap in and tune into your own vision to move forward with precision, and always in a constant cycle of indecision. That was a whole bar. What the fuck is that? Okay. The Empress. Sideways. The Empress in this position is basically where one is unable to be fruitful and abundant, constantly running into challenges, self-inflicted challenges, by not utilizing the information that is actually showing itself to you if you allow yourself to observe what's going on. To observe, that means you have to zoom out. So for some of you, what this zooming out means, you're probably so quick to say something or react to a situation rather than really processing where that energy is mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, where you can now see that this is actually a person that requires your assistance, not so much the back and forth. And sometimes that assistance means you stepping away or not saying anything and letting them hear themselves. Some of you, let's get into a much lower level to clear this shit out. Some of you are in constant back and forth with people that when they tell you something and you tell them that this is what they said, they're telling you, no, that's not what I said. Before you have these conversations to liberate yourself, because some of you require that level of proof, start recording your conversations. Record your conversations and play it back for them and ask them, is this not what you said, after you play it back? Now, if you choose to stay there when the person says, no, I didn't say that, after they just heard themselves say it, now you need to question why you even tolerating that. Some of you don't even have to go that far. Because it is what it is and you're allowing it to be what it ain't. Done, done. Okay? Done, done. Gratitude for the thumbs up. I love you all. Gratitude. Let me see. King of Wands. Oof. See, what got some of y'all stuck is how fine a person is. They're highly attractive. But when it comes to being fruitful and abundance and opportunities, that closes for you at the same time. The Empress in a challenging position with the Ace of Pentacles, they could be as attractive as they want to be. I'm hearing somebody say they got no decorum. You know what? 8 of Cups. Well, the hidden theme is, okay, the tea, the clocking it, the whatever. The gag is, it's time for you to walk away. You scratching your head and shit, wondering. Stop wondering. Okay? Stop wondering. Look at this card. Go ahead and look at that card. Okay? Okay? I may go live after this on YouTube. We got a few more minutes here. I mean, on TikTok. You're where you're supposed to be. You see what we just did there? You're where you're supposed to be. With that being said, Three of Pentacles. Let's work through this together. Let's work through this together. Look at Metatron in the back. 555. Oh, Metatron. Here's the quickest way to receive information from Metatron. Yeah, about moving forward. The Chariot with precision. Come through, Metatron. There's music for some of you that's being channeled through. And you tell yourself, oh, I'll listen to it later. Stop doing that. Get on YouTube, make a playlist of channel songs or whatever it is that you have to do, even if you don't listen to it at that moment. Put that song in that playlist so at least you have it to go back to, because there are messages that are coming through music for you. Which is part of the reason why, we're going to go over it that way too, because we can play music. But it's the same as the handle here, okay? So let me see. Look at the look how Metatron is assisting you at this time to align the situation. Literally blocking everything that is not of a high vibration, blocking it so that way you can realign specifically from what stands under the heart, so you can understand yourself. So you're not looking for others to understand you, which is why most of y'all get into these arguments with people about them not seeing you for who you are, because if you told them once, you shouldn't have to tell their ass twice, because I'm pretty sure if you're over here, if someone tells you you truly care and love a person the way that you say you do, when someone tells you something that they are uncomfortable with, aren't you going to make the adjustment? So it's possible, more than possible, to make the adjustment. Just don't allow someone outside of you to play you and feeling as though that they got to take a certain amount of time to, if they got to take a time to adjust to making those type of changes, they're not in the perception or dimension that they are to be aligned with you in that moment, and allow it to be that way. And go on about your life. and align with that which is in alignment to you. Stop wasting your time with people who are in a much different vibration than you are. There's too much static. You know, when you're going through looking for, tuning into the channel on a radio and it's got that static, that's the type of connections that type of energy brings in. When you are telling someone, having a conversation about some level of a situation that can be adjusted. If there's a conversation, the conversation's being had and it's still not adjusted, an adjustment doesn't take long. That's another programming that the collective has to disconnect themselves from. If all you have is now, that means everything that you have to shift in the current moment to make your life better, you can do it now. Fuck a 3 months, fuck 30 days and all this other habit. You can do it now. Okay. So let's work with this. Let's work with this. I'm talking to the energies that be playing with the collective. It's real quick for collective to make the adjustments, but when the shoe was on the other foot, people want to move as though they got molasses up their ass. Oh, all right. Keep that carnival shit over there. King of Swords. The strategist. The strategy is now. So much so that the hidden theme is different directions, different options, different timelines, different perceptions or perspectives of the timelines. Gratitude for that pumpkin spice latte. The queen, the king, and somebody, they meant us. Okay, so some of you are in a situation where you put the mirror up for somebody for them to see themselves. The king and queen of swords. That's the first this happens in this deck on a live reading. Look at this. That's a lot of shit going on here. I mean, it's a lot of mental energy, but there you got the Libra vibes there. You for sure do got the Libra vibes with the Queen of Swords. You see it? Especially with the sun in Libra right now, what, 22? Ooh, 22 degrees. That's that 22. So there are partnerships that are actually ending because of the reevaluation of them. Contracts, partnerships, purpose, disconnecting from a purpose that one felt as though it was a purpose, shifting from people-pleasing into truth-anchored collaborations, moving with elegance and precision. There goes that chariot energy. That's Michael as well with the sword. So your higher self, in terms of the silver gate, your higher self, the essence of your soul is descending into the earth, is descending into the heart, which means your heart is already going through that activation. So you're not going to have no other choice. You're not going to have any other choice but to shift from people-pleasing to truth-anchored collaborations and nothing less. Ten of Swords. Wow. And we're gonna this is where we close out this message. Absolutely. The hidden theme is the 10 of Pentacles. That means all is well, mentally, physically, spiritually, partnerships, health, business. 10 of Pentacles, the hidden theme. You do what was relayed in this message, you won't have your abundance effortlessly. Look at this 10 of Swords after what was said with the King and Queen, King of Swords showing up here. disconnecting from the old self, but also the battle between the old and the new self. Welcome to Pantera Soul Fam. Bienvenidos. Welcome. Coming out of Saturn's cube, the time. You see the roots? Ancient information from the waters here with the starfish. And everything has to do with where are you when it comes to what it is that you're still holding guilt. What is the situation you're still holding guilt or shame? And if it's not a particular situation you experience in your own life, this could be part of the programming and the DNA restructure that you're having when it comes to the womb that you were in before you came here. There's levels to this. Feel me? Let me see. What's the final? Give me some final messages here. (622). 22 is going to be very significant moving forward. 22 and 44. Absolutely. You could be born the year of the dog, 94, 2006, 82, the year of the horse, 1990, 2002, 1978, the year of the snake, 2025, this year, 2001, 1989, 1977. Monday is significant here for you in terms of making these adjustments, because Monday is connected to the moon, making adjustments specifically on Mondays. As far as, okay, what could be a level of guidance here for you? Let's say you've gone through hours, moments, and still haven't made an adjustment. Every time Monday comes, make sure you reconnect to the higher purpose as to why you're here and stop playing yourself in a sense. And then we have the rune of Fehu, property, food, livestock, fulfillment, ambition, flowing, wealth, new beginnings, cattle, dynamic power, sexual attractions, young love, initial conditions, projections. Being able to, gratitude for the royal crown, beloved, being able to draw in gravity in order for you to avoid reckless bliss. What the fuck is happening? Okay. Let's just put it this way. Speaking of the mirror, especially for those of you who have been underestimated, your power now becomes more undeniable. Those who have weaponized beauty or charisma for control are going to be exposed. And there will be a cutting through performance to reveal one's true essence. So people just doing things just to appear a certain way. Speaking of the mask and the transformation, this is what's coming to an end here, okay? Assisting the collective to avoid reckless bliss and be more in alignment with fulfillment, wealth, that 10 of Pentacles energy here. What's behind the 10 of Pentacles? The Prince of Pentacles. So this is newfound joy based on the actions that you take. 9 of Pentacles, through your independence and freedom, doing this on your own. You put enough work in on your own, you might as well. And there goes the moon again, coño. You're the 4th generation, you 5th, 4th, 6th, 4th, 6th, 8th, 468, 468. What's 468? Let me see something. Let me look at the gematria. This is the end. I'm done. That's literally what that cube is. Yeah, there's a lot of cubes showing up. Saturn's cube, marking the end. Every day is Monday here, man. That's another thing. Some of you have to shift the perspective of the way you see Monday. If you are someone or connected to people, if you are someone or connected to people who dread Mondays, you should not be over here on this channel, respectfully. This shit over here is dangerous for that type of energy. That's the rawest feminine frequency throughout the whole cycle, because there ain't shit weak about this collective. And we gonna keep it that way. All that other weak shit where you are unable to do things that best serve your purpose, if you're unable to serve yourself, if you are unable to do things from the unconditional loving perspective of yourself and want to make excuses, this is not the channel for you. And I'm saying this at the end, which sounds as though it's more of a message that should be at the beginning, but no. Why it's coming up now? Because there are too many instances where people go into situations, receive the information that fires them the fuck up, and still go back into the old paradigm of a shitty lifestyle. Don't do that shit over here. Respectfully. You want to go and waste time? I'm not going to tell you to do that anywhere else. All I'm going to say is that shit is done and over with, of wasting time. Yours and others. Be the best version of yourself. That's what's required now. It's a requirement. Enjoy your life. That's also a requirement too. Okay? And with that being said, my loves, be and make your life great. It's not that you don't have time. Time is an illusion. Illusion is art. You're going to have to make time. Do just that. And I promise you, shit will be amazing. That sugar honey iced tea will be amazing. And when people come into your life moving as though that they are disturbing or disrupting your peace, alchemize that, become the alchemist. Transmute that energy. Allow it to show you where you are still at as to why this energy is even showing up in your life. Become your own bodyguard. And allow those situations that are not in alignment to the highest version of yourself, when they step in, to show you where you got to tune up that, you know what I'm saying? Tune up that vibe when it comes to you having a certain level of boundary and protection around yourself from within yourself. And with that much love, ciao.